Saint Cyril of Jerusalem, defender of the faith. In the early days of Christianity, when the Church faced both persecution and theological conflicts, a man rose to defend the truth with wisdom and courage. His name was Cyril of Jerusalem, and he would become one of the greatest teachers of the faith, a young scholar of the Church. Born around 315 AD in Jerusalem, Cyril grew up in the shadow of the newly legalized Christian faith. He devoted himself to studying the scriptures and the teachings of the Church. As a young man, he was ordained a priest and later became Bishop of Jerusalem around 348 AD. At that time, the Church was in turmoil. A heresy called Arianism, which denied that Jesus was truly God, was spreading. Though powerful leaders supported this false teaching, Cyril stood firmly for the truth. As Bishop, Cyril became famous for his catechetical lectures, a series of teachings that explained the fundamentals of Christianity to new believers. He taught about the Creed, the sacraments, and the Eucharist, strengthening the faith of countless Christians. His clear and powerful words helped shape the Church's doctrine for centuries to come. One of his most beautiful teachings was on the Eucharist, where he described it as the true body and blood of Christ, calling believers to approach it with faith and reverence. His words are still studied by theologians today. Exile and suffering. Because of his defense of the true faith, Cyril faced opposition. The Arian emperors saw him as a threat and exiled him 3 times. He spent 16 years in exile, far from his beloved Jerusalem. But Cyril never wavered. He remained steadfast, trusting that God would restore him when the time was right. Finally, when Emperor Theodosius I, a defender of the true faith, came to power, Cyril was welcomed back to Jerusalem. He spent his last years ensuring that the Church remained strong in the teachings of Christ. The Council of Constantinople. In 381 AD, Cyril took part in the Council of Constantinople, solidifying the Church's teaching on the Trinity. This was a great victory, confirming that the faith Cyril had defended all his life was the true faith of the Church. Shortly after, in 386 AD, Cyril passed into eternal life, having fought the good fight. In 1883, he was declared a doctor of the Church, recognizing his incredible contributions to Christian teaching, a legacy of truth. Saint Cyril of Jerusalem is remembered as a teacher, defender of the faith, and champion of truth. His writings continue to inspire and guide Christians, reminding us to stand firm in the faith, no matter the trials we face. Stand fast and hold firm the traditions which you have been taught. Saint Cyril of Jerusalem. Would you like me to focus on any specific part of his life or teachings?